Explosive volcanoes. These are the complexes which on each of 6 of the 7 major continents have been the most consistently explosive volcanoes during the Holocene epoch, translating to since the year 9700 BCE. I am only counting volcanoes with multiple VEI 4 or larger explosive eruptions, translating to approximately 1/10 the size of the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens or larger. Most of these volcanoes you have probably already heard of. These include Mount Pelée on the island of Martinique, which wiped out 29,000 people during a lateral blast in 1902, Shivelik in Russia, which added another VEI-4 eruption to its tally in 2023, and the consistently explosive glacier-covered Katla volcano in Iceland. Yet, you might have noticed that I left blank the relevant most explosive Holocene volcano in Africa. This might come as a surprise, but the volcano in question does not lie within the East African rift that contains the vast majority of the continent's active volcanoes. Instead, it is situated within Sudan, where very few people Maidab volcanic field have ever heard of it despite the future dangers it poses, since in recent times it has erupted about once every 2,500 years on average. Here, what is known as the Maidab volcanic field is the most consistently explosive volcano in the Holocene in all of Africa, including its islands, where it covers a vast area spanning 5,000 square kilometers, or essentially the same land area as the U.S. state of Delaware. And, unlike the vast majority of monogenetic volcanic fields around the lava-type planet which produce low-viscosity basaltic lavas which typically do not allow very large explosive eruptions to occur at a high frequency, this vast volcanic field erupts a wide range from phoidite to phonolite and trachyte. However, since the Maidab volcanic field has been active for approximately 6 million years, its general lava composition has evolved over time, and as a result, during the Holocene epoch it has only erupted trachyandesite and trachyte lavas. These two alkali-rich lava varieties are incredibly viscous, meaning that during eruptions gases and volatile materials are unable to easily escape from them, resulting in them building in pressure underneath growing lava flows until the pressure becomes so great that it breaks through overlying rock, creating an explosive volcanic eruption. This is why more than 4 dozen large volcanic maar explosion craters, tuff rings, and tuff cones dot the landscape, with these craters measuring up to 2,700 meters wide and 150 meters deep. For reference, while the Maidab volcanic field is heavily understudied, Holocene eruptions, we know that it erupted at least 6 times during the Holocene epoch at the following locations. All 6 of these eruptions were highly explosive in nature, 5 of which produced sub-Plinian or Plinian eruptions that resulted in the formation of large explosion craters. One of these specific eruptions approximately 5,000 years ago buried near vent areas in up to 15 meters or 49 feet thick of ash and pumice. And, we can see that this eruption produced at least a 20-kilometer or 65,600-foot high eruption plume which, if aircraft had existed then, would have disrupted many regional routes for a time. During this Plinian eruption, part of the eruption column was so dense that it could not rise on a buoyant column of hot air, so it collapsed back to the ground, creating pyroclastic flows which incinerated all regional plants and animals in an up to 6-kilometer radius. 3 additional similar magnitude eruptions occurred between 8,100 and 5,100 years ago. While yes, it is true that the more abundant precipitation in the region during this period played a role in the sheer explosiveness of this field, it could still be comparably explosive if it were to ever erupt again, which the field surely will one day. Also, its lava flows can travel fairly far from their source vents, with a Holocene trachyandesite lava flow in 2950 BCE going on to cover 6.4 square kilometers and reach 6.5 kilometers away from its source vent. So, future eruptions could form lava flows, lava domes, or large maar explosion craters. The Maidab volcanic 3 phases field appears to have 3 distinct segments which from oldest to youngest are peripheral basanite cinder cones, a combination of hundreds of lava flows that formed a tall lava plateau, and more recent eruptions which scattered lighter-colored more viscous lavas and ash. Using the U.S. Hazard Rating Geological Survey methodology of rating volcanoes, the Maidop volcanic field would be classified as a high-threat volcano. We aren't exactly sure why the Maidop volcanic field exists, but one theory suggests the occurrence of an underlying mantle plume which periodically sends magma into a regional northeast trending lineament that represents a path of least resistance. As a final note, I would like to thank my new YouTube channel.